talking about the different types of tactics and strategies, including the meaning behind them, past examples, as well as some more current examples that we see today. Ever since I was young, I was interested with the war side of history. I was also interested in the different types of tactics and strategies that go along with it. And throughout history, there was no one war that was the same. This is partially due to the different types of tactics and strategies that play out. All of you have at least had one history class throughout your education career. You've all heard about World War I and World War II. This is the best example of the modernization of tactics and strategies. Now with that over, it's time to talk about some meaning behind them. According to Strategies and Tactics by the Columbia Encyclopedia 6th edition, strategies and tactics, related terms referring to particularly large-scale and small-scale attacks in order to achieve military victory. They also added that many early war theorists did not make a distinction between the two. In simpler terms, strategies are the overall planning of the grand scheme, deciding what would happen if certain wars were won or lost and how that affect the overarching goal. Tactics, on the other hand, are smaller versions of strategies and are more battle-specific. Some great examples of strategies are when armies stockpile in excess of ammunition, as well as reserve troops and sending out spies to gather information. Some examples of tactics include when militaries use cavalries, artilleries, and infantries. This varies more from battle to battle and can vary quite a lot. It's also very important to take into account the landscape. You want to base your tactics and strategies around the different types of landscape, not the other way around. Now that we have some background information, it's time to get to some past examples. In the Middle Ages, tactics and strategies were becoming more popular. The two men responsible for this were Alexander the Great and his son Philip II. According to Edmund M. Burke's scholarly journal, Philip II and Alexander the Great, Alexander was known for his tactical and strategical genius. He was also known for his army, the Macedonian army, and their national character. The Macedonian army was also known for their skillfulness and speediness, being commonly referred to as a myth. After Alexander died, his son Philip II took over. According to Edmund M. Burke, from roughly the 5th century through the 7th, warfare in Greece was a fairly straightforward affair. Soldier citizens were gathered who were wealthy and were able to furnish their own arms, and they were fought head-on. This was soon innovated by Philip II with his own tactics and strategies. Some of his innovations include lighter weight body armor for his troops, as well as a better purpose for his troops, as they were only meant to harass the enemy. Some more recent examples of innovations of tactics include the Blitzkrieg or Lightning War in World War II. The Blitzkrieg, according to the Holocaust Encyclopedia, is a concentration of offensive weapons, planes, tanks, and artillery along a narrow front. This is to cause mass confusion and chaos behind enemy lines. Along with the Blitzkrieg came the innovation of the M1 Garand rifle. According to Bernard Rosker, General George S. Patton described this innovation as the single greatest battle implement that mankind has ever devised. This was just the beginning for innovations in World War II. Now that we have the past examples, it's time to get on to some more current examples. According to David Ochmanek and Lowell Short's book, Implications for U.S. Military Strategy, Planning, and Operations, one can simply avoid war by refusing to fight, but once important interests are at risk, taking military action off the table can lead to serious erosion of national interest and security. This can be seen throughout the world. One of the major examples of this is during the Cold War, where the use of political means such as diplomats and national organizations took place. There was a positive role for disarmament discussions between UN diplomats from states other than the United States and the Soviet Union, according to Lincoln Bloomfield in the Journal of Politics. This is one of the great examples of peace talks trying to take place in order to prevent an all-out war. Although politics plays a great role in preventing war, there's also the fighting side of tactics and strategies. Today we can see that with the use of tanks. The main goal for tanks, or the main use of tanks, is to slowly get behind enemy lines while still maintaining ground. This is why they are more powerful and heavily armored than they are fast. Along with this came the introduction of aircraft and air raids in World War II. They not only provided another angle to attack from, but they also provided enemy positioning and information. After this came the improvement of body armor for troops. This included Kevlar, which is used more and more due to its incredible strength, as well as its ability to reduce the impact of bullets and shrapnel. As we've talked about, strategies and tactics have been evolving all throughout time and will continue to evolve in the near future. Although this information has no practical use, I hope everyone took at least one thing that was interesting or intriguing to you. Thank you for coming to my speech.